Welcome to yet another episode of Growing Out Loud. This is season 2, episode 2. Growing Out Loud is a space for the dreamers who do. It's a space where we talk about building from the ground up. It's a space where we talk about the issues that affect our daily lives and just affect our ability to make money, honestly. And today I am joined by the lovely Ngina, happens to be my friend, but I will let her introduce herself so that we do it justice.
Ooh, okay. I actually wanted to hear how you'd introduce me.
Oh,
Yeah.
you see the thing about having your friends on board. You see what we were saying just before we started shooting. It's interesting how you see me in a different element.
Yeah. Various elements of me. So, like, which one? I was curious which one you would choose to say on the podcast. Yeah.
Of course, I would. So you want me to take it away?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, let's do this again. Today, I am joined by my friend, the founder of Money Moves KE. When you think Ngina, you think money. Actually, every time I see her, I'm like, hey, did I track my expenses today? That's literally what comes to mind.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I find myself very conscious with my money around you.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm even like, if I wanted to like buy something, I'm like, what would Ngina think?
I love it. Like that voice on your shoulder when you're about to buy. There's a time we were in the supermarket and you were picking out like hot dogs and drinks, and you had that moment of, do I need to spend my money on this? And
yes, and I can assure you, it's because I was with you. Okay, well, it's
culture also. Like if it's happening when I'm with me, then it starts happening when you're not with me.
Yes,
and then it becomes something that you do naturally.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So, please.
Okay, yes. As she said, my name is Ngina Jeroge, and I am the founder of Money Moves KE. It's a financial management and consultancy brand and company. So we have a social media brand and social media content that we create on Money Moves KE on all social media platforms. And we give consultation services if you want to know how to manage your money, wealth advisory. You want to start investing, we create a portfolio for you, and we do trainings for groups of people. If you're in an NGO and you want to empower the people who you work with and work for, then we are the people to call. And I just love talking about money. Like I could do it for free, but I don't do it for free.
Yes. So thank you for coming and for making the time to be here.
Having me.
It's something ever since I met you, I knew for sure I'd want us to sit over here and have a conversation.
Yeah.
So just before we continue this conversation, this podcast is brought to you by Brand with DK. Brand with DK is a full-service communications and PR firm. What we do at Brand with DK is we tell stories and we turn our stories and our expertise into a competitive business advantage and into money. So we tell stories in all formats, from building your brands on LinkedIn to creating podcasts and producing podcasts, all the way to PR, getting you visibility across different channels, different media channels, both decentralized and mainstream media. That's what we do. You can find us at Brand with DK across all social media platforms, from LinkedIn to our Instagram, and find our website, brandwithdk.co.ke. Let's continue the conversation. So today we're going to talk about something interesting, which is money, friendships, and red flags. So here the idea, and it's not just friendships, but relationships of all types as well. And I know money by itself is quite a sensitive topic. We actually, especially in the African context, money is not something we talk about openly.
Yeah.
And then now you add the aspect of friendship on there. You add now the aspect of family or even partners and all that. And it becomes something that you'd rather avoid or not face head on.
Yeah.
And that's something I'd want us to have a conversation around and with the money expert. But before that, there's something that came to mind and something that we had a conversation just before we started shooting, which is mediocrity and how we feel about mediocrity. And as it turns out, we are on different...
we define
it differently.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what you think mediocrity is, but this was my argument, yeah? We live life a lot of people are mediocre. I would say that. And to me, mediocrity is being average. And when you think about being average, it's just 50%. For me, average is 50%. That's mediocre. So if average is 50% and then 60% is like a B or like a B, it's probably a B according to how we grade, at least in Kenya.
50 or 60?
No, 60.
Yeah, about a
60 is a B.
Yeah.
Actually, I think 65 is a B plus, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So when you think about the effort to get from 50 to 65, it's just 15% more. So to not be mediocre, we're not talking about moving from 50 to 100 to now make you exceptional. It's literally just 15% more effort. So it means in everything that you do, if you know now, okay, your baseline is usually up to a certain point, it literally needs you to take 3, 4, just 5 more steps. And that makes you exceptional.
Yeah.
And I think that's what guides how I do things, and I try to think about what sets people apart. It's not at we are at 50% and the rest are at 100. The others are just at like 60%.
To be
That's what I
honest,
think.
now where we differ is because I think, first of all, even getting from 50 to 52, you're already above average and you're already above mediocrity. Of course, there's also skills to it and where you can continue with excellence and like propel your excellence. But I think even being average, even getting to that 50%,
Yeah.
that is above mediocrity, because to me mediocrity is below average.
Ah.
So if you are
Like
like
40.
50,
Yeah.
like 40.
40
like,
is
let's say
mediocrity?
40. Yeah, because that's below average. And it doesn't even take that much to be average. But you will find that not many people are even getting to this 50. You get. So even when you're just getting the basics done, you're already above average. Even when you just get the JD done and do it to the letter, like it says be here at 8:30 and you're there at 8:30.
Yeah.
And it says submit one report and you submit just one report, one 2-page report, one and only a 2-page report. You are already above the mediocrity because you're performing averagely and already you stood out, because most people are performing very far below average. So even standing out becomes not very difficult because you just have to show up consistently and show up and do exactly what you said you would do.
That's
And
all it
now
takes.
aim for excellence.
Yeah.
Then now eventually you can get to the 60, 70 in some areas. Other times you drop a bit, but you see you're propelling yourself anyway. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, just a little bit more intentionality, just a little bit. We're not even going for perfection. Like 60, 50, 55, 60 is not perfection.
It's really not.
But it's that 60 sets you apart.
And then you said, getting to 70. And I said, in most universities, 70 is an A.
Yes.
Like you're already at an A when you're getting to 70. Then beyond that, now it's honors.
Yeah.
So you see, just try. That's actually
It doesn't take so much.
Yeah. So yeah, then maybe it goes, why are you wearing red? Is it because you're talking about red flags?
Well, what a beautiful coincidence. With that said, let's now really talk about friendship red flags.
Okay.
And I think I will allow my guest to go first.
Okay, let me start with this. Something I've just seen on Twitter as I was doing research for this right before now.
Yes.
It's someone was talking about red flags that they were seeing in their partner. It's not about this episode, it's not about romantic relationships.
Yeah.
No? But the man said that one of the things that he found a red flag in his partner, in his partner, was that her father was broke. What is your opinion on that? First of all, I don't trust anything anyone says on Twitter if it's not like a corporate account, but
wait. So it's a red flag if your father is broke?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I am not him. I suppose it's because they want you to come from a well-off background. And if you don't, maybe it says something about you and how you were raised. I truly don't believe that, but it is possible that someone sees that as a red flag.
I'm trying to look at it from this perspective. One, specifically the dad, because this is a man talking about his partner, meaning the lady.
Yes.
So what is it about the dad being broke?
Yeah.
what does that have to do with? Could it be now you've seen if you saw your dad being an ambitious person, but you're not trying to be, if anything, you're not trying to be your dad, you're trying to be maybe like your mom,
Better.
or
Oh, like ladies.
like from a, yeah, because it's a lady in this case.
Okay, what I would say, given my analysis of society in general, I just think it's more so, it comes with expectations. Like people not having when they're growing up. Sometimes they grow up and seek to replace that with provision from a man. So if your parents and their father, who's supposed to be providing in the African and the context that you have grown up in, is not doing that, then you start looking for that provision with your romantic partner, and that comes out as a red flag in that way, in the sense of you're looking for a wallet as opposed to a partner. If that's what that person meant, I do not know what he meant. He could have really just meant that there's no inheritance for you guys to inherit, so I don't know.
I would think the opposite then.
In what way?
If your dad was a broke man, it meant that, or is a broke man, it means that you've grown up not expecting to get anything from men.
Yeah.
So that means you grow up thinking and just knowing, but then if I don't fend for myself, no one's coming to save me. And that's motivation to like not, because if your dad did not give you money,
Yeah.
what are you expecting a man who is not related to you in any way give you money? See what I mean? And I guess it's that argument for there are people who saw their dads being violent, or the people who saw their dads being drunk as drunkards, and they vowed never be drunkards themselves.
Yeah.
And there are people who are drunkards, and they are drunkards because they saw their dads were drunkards.
That is what you're familiar
You see,
with.
that's what you're familiar with.
Yeah.
So in this case, maybe that applies. But if you are to ask me from that perspective, then all the more reason to fend for yourself and not expect men to give you money as women, I think.
I hear that and I agree. That's the background that one came from. It's just that I don't know how that background is perceived by other people and other men, particularly if that's the gender that you were dating and is pursuing you. So yeah, I don't know. We can live there because
People can
different
spite
strokes
you.
for different folks. I know, because you could be out there actually doing very well for yourself.
Yes.
And then someone is criticizing you and seeing you as a red flag for what your parents have or don't have.
Let's talk about friendship red flags, and maybe I could take it. You could start us off.
Okay, great. So one of my red flags is friends who are entitled to your money. That is because maybe they think you have from one source or another, or maybe they feel like you're doing better than them, or I don't know what the reason is, by the way. Sometimes they don't feel like you're doing better than them, and maybe you're all at the same place, or maybe they're even earning more. But there's that entitlement of you are the one who has to pay for this. Every single time. Not that you have offered, every single time. And even when it's not been offered and a conversation has not been had, purely us sitting at a table and me and you, Daisy, we've gone for coffee, we've gone for brunch, and there's not even a conversation of, we'll do half-seas. You just sit and you don't say anything about it. To me, that's a red flag.
Yeah, no, I support that 100%. And maybe just to add on to it, for me, yeah, first of all, the expectation that because even if I earn more than you, that does not give you any reason to think that now I'm paying. I'm not footing, I'm not your parent.
Yeah.
I'm not your partner, maybe. But then again, in my experience, what irks me even more is when you come and ask me for money. If you come and ask me for money because your things are tight and you need to pay your rent, or you need to pay your Wi-Fi, or you're just stuck somewhere and you need to go to work, or you need to go to a certain meeting and you don't have money, I will give you that money and I will not ask for it back. But when you call me and ask me to give you a Kaluz 3K because you're going outside, now that irks me AF.
Because do you not think I want to be outside also? Do I not want to go out and
Yes.
have sushi and spend this
Yes.
3K the way I
Yes.
want? But now
Yes.
you want to go spend my 3K.
Yes. And then it comes with a form of entitlement for, but see, you send, but see, I need it. And I'm like,
I don't even think that's appropriate even when you're dealing with a parent and someone who you're
yes.
actually a dependent for.
And now that comes from familiarity. You know, we are friends, we know each other like that. But see, we are friends. But see, you're supposed to come through for me.
Dizzy, have you ever actually been in that situation?
Yes, multiple times.
Oh, more than one?
Yes.
Did you give the first time?
Yes. Well, boundaries.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah. But it act me, and that's something I actively now would wanna do different.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you able to set boundaries after that?
Therapist.
Yeah. Love it. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I had that conversation. Part of it comes out of being a serial people pleaser and also thinking, but what will they think about me if I don't come through for them at this point? So just understanding, first of all, you can't even control what people think of you anyway.
Yep.
You might still give them the money and they'll still think whatever they will.
Yeah.
But just trying to stand your ground. Because I know people pleasers will relate with me.
Yeah, because I first of all, I'm grateful that none of my friends have put me in that situation, particularly friends. I've had romantic situations where
Yeah.
but none of my friends have put me in that situation. And then I also think I can be naweza kuwa mkali kidogo, let me say it like that,
yes.
which makes it a bit difficult for someone to ask, particularly if there's no good reason.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna speak rudely, but I'll just ask like, why? What is this for? And with people who I'm very close to, I may not even ask because I know that by the time Daisy is asking me for this, there's a good reason.
Yeah.
So I won't ask any questions. But until we are that level of close, I will always ask. So like, what is the situation? You know, I'd be happy to help if I can, but
Yeah.
I'd like to know more so that you're also not supporting. Sometimes you might end up funding somebody's addiction without knowing. Well, it's not your responsibility to get them out of it. You may not want to put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But again, with that regard, familiarity, you know, there are friends that you know, even if this person is asking me for 5K to go out, well, as to the extent to which have his or their financial discipline is concerned, I don't know. But there are people who will ask me for that 5K and they'll pay it
Pay you back.
Yeah, regardless of what they're asking it for. In that case, it's fine because now, based on past experiences, you refund my money. So I don't even care what you'll do it with. Nitakupea. Mi sina shida na hiyo.
I don't know, because unless we are at the level of closeness where I'm not going to ask you what you're using the money for, if you're not there and it is for non-necessities, even if I know you're going to pay me back, because I feel like now I'm not liquid, or rather, I'm less liquid because of your happies.
So
I
it's
don't
important.
Want, to me
it's important to know what the money is for if someone is going to ask it from you, even if you know for sure they'll pay it back.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Unless I'm getting it back with interest.
Oh.
Yeah. Then you do whatever you want with it. Yeah. And I have charged interest.
Are you kidding me?
I am not.
So
kidding.
if you know I'm asking you for money to buy a ticket for blankets.
Great, that's fine. A ticket to blankets is 3,500. You can give me back 4K.
Girl.
Yeah.
You see why I told you guys when I'm with her, I'm conscious about my money. I'm just like, this is why. Anyway.
Yeah, it's also because like if blankets is that important to you, that's fine. Like I understand, but
that your emergency and your needs have nothing to do with me.
Yes, exactly. Then in that case, there needs to be a quid pro quo.
What am I getting out of this?
Yes, and it's not all situations, because especially emergencies, of course not. Like there's no, I'm not gonna charge interest. I may not even ask many questions in emergency situations. But in that specific situation where maybe it's more money than, like now I'm less liquid because of you, and it's okay, it can be, but to compensate for that discomfort, on for that inconvenience.
Nice.
Because if you were to go to Fuliza, they would have charged you 17% interest.
Literally.
If you were to go to a
It actually,
bank,
it actually
like that.
costs you money to send them money.
Yes.
So I send you 4K, you refund 4K, but it cost me, I don't
It
know,
cost
the
me 50
transaction
shillings
cost. Yeah,
to
50
send you that
shillings to send you
4K.
that. Yeah.
So while I try to not also be overly transactional, you also have to have boundaries.
And that leads me to my second red flag, which is being shamed for having said boundaries. Like now in this case,
I'm sure there's probably someone who's just had that and is like, this girl.
exactly. Because sometimes
Yeah.
actually when I'm sending you money, I'm cautious myself, and and I find myself thinking, but then it's costing me 50 bob to share to send you 4K, for example. Now utanirudisha to your 4K with no interest and anything. And sometimes I'm like, do I want to fuss? But I don't want to be that person who fusses over small things.
That's the thing, yeah.
But and I'm like, perception. It goes back to people pleasing tendencies. It goes back to what will people say and think about me? How will she perceive me? But you're literally just stating your boundaries. And if it's not something you can work with, then
It's okay.
please go get it from someone who.
Yeah. And that thing about small monies, because I've also struggled with, I don't want to fuss over small monies either, because also you're trying to have an abundant mentality. But at the same time, it's not the money, it's the principle.
principle behind.
It's the principle of the situation. It's the principle.
That
It's not
statement
the
keeps.
yeah, it's not the 50 bob, it's the principle behind it.
Yeah, we're not arguing about Nini. It's the principle.
Yeah, because there is a time we will be dealing with millions, and that principle needs to apply in that moment
The
as
same
well.
way. Yeah.
Because there's no need for you to cost me 100K or something like that.
Yeah.
In the sense of because we are friends, because we didn't establish these principles of dealings early on. Yeah.
And now let me ask you, because I know you're pretty, your boundaries are pretty.
Oh, thank you. I surely hope so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Has it costed you relationships and friendships in the past?
With regards to money?
Yes.
Hey, hot seat. I wouldn't say so when it comes to finances, because people who have been close to me, maybe it has prevented me from getting very close to somebody, as opposed to people who are already close being cut off. Because people who I am close to, as I said, gratefully, we understand each other, we know each other's boundaries. When we are out together, we have already come up with a system of splitting things. Unless somebody offers, it's always everybody pays for what they spend, or if it's close in amount, we'll just split it equally. So in friendships, gratefully, I've not been in the situation where I have to cut somebody off because of that. However, I have been in situations where I have not been able to get close with somebody, because when we started being friends and friendly, they kept asking me for money, and they kept increasing the amount. So you asked me for 1K today, you asked me for 2K in the next 2 weeks. After a while, you asked me for 6K.
Yeah.
And yes, you pay me back. But you see, this one's for, oh, can I know what it is about? You're not very upfront with what it is about. And then at some point, when you ask me for money and I don't have, you start acting entitled. It's like you're mad at me for not having the money you asked me for, that you don't have because you're asking for.
So actually, you would argue that entitlement manifests and becomes like a big thing because of not having set the boundaries from the onset. Because, like you said, it would be it was incremental.
Yeah.
So it started with, say, a G, and then an arudisha, and then now next time it's 2K, then an arudisha, then 3K, then an arudisha, and then now ask for 4K. Now they're mad when you say I cannot give you 4K.
Yeah.
Because how dare you?
And then it's suddenly like, I don't have notice. It's like, I want 4K now. I need to pay for something now. And that to me is like also an indication of very poor planning on your part, because and then now your emergency becomes my emergency, and I'm stressed and I'm anxious and I'm feeling uncomfortable about having to set this boundary again. Because I will say something once, I'll be like, hey, next time I would really appreciate it if you told me what this was about. Or
also, Connie, I'm just your
I don't know.
emergency fund.
And then we are not that close. You realize in this situation, we are not very close yet. We just are getting to be friends.
Yeah.
So I don't know you like that. We don't even have that level of familiarity. You are trying to establish it. Or if you see, say, I don't know whether you've mentioned about the car story.
No, what story?
Car, gari. Let us assume you have seen me driving a car. You don't know whose car that is. You've just seen me driving a car. And then now you assume because you have seen Ngina driving a car that Ngina has money, and you ask me for an amount of money that seems small to you. So you ask me for like 500 bob. And when I say, this is not a good time,
I don't
you
have
get
500
mad
bob.
at me.
Yeah.
That is so...
How dare you with your car? But I've seen you driving around, and it reminds me.
Yeah.
Recently, one of my friends was in a similar situation. Someone had asked them for money and they didn't have capacity. And I remember when we were talking, they were like, hey, and now they'll see that I've gone out and I've gone to have a meal and I've not sent them said money. And and they're like, oh my goodness, they're going to judge me or feel a certain type of way. And I'm like, it's your money.
Yes. To me too, that's like, oh no, not me spending the money I have worked so hard to earn.
Yes.
And I had budgeted to go out for.
Yes, yourself.
Yes, and maybe your emergency it's not really an emergency, by the way. Maybe that situation that you're asking for does not fit into my budget.
Yes.
So I should feel bad for spending my...
No. And also that trusting people, you cannot trust somebody to that extent. It reminds me, and my mom always tells us this story. So she worked in banking for a good number of years. And there was an incident back in the early 2000s. A gentleman not from Kenya would go to their institution and would you see how you receive money from abroad, so they'd use that institution to now receive money from abroad. So they would go there, and this gentleman, you see, kwanza they would put very beautiful ladies at the cashiers for said institution.
Of course.
Now this gentleman starts the first day by getting withdrawing 100,000. So ametumiwa 100,000 from the US, goes there, withdraws, even tips the lady. Next time comes, withdraws 200K. Now you see, now they're starting to have some familiarity, right? The third time comes, or maybe just a few times after, comes and asks, I'm waiting for money. It will be here by evening. They'll have sent the money by evening. So just give me 300K. I will, inatuma jioni. Because again of familiarity and trust, and true to his word, anyway, by end of day, pesa imetumwa. So it went like that. It went on. They even went ahead and started dating.
Oh my.
They would go out together. She even knew where the person lived. They were in a full-blown relationship. Then again, at the institution, it's the same thing. 600 is sent back. Give me 800 is sent back. Eventually, what did you used to say in Swahili? Siku ya nini kukula mwe.
Siku ya
nyani
kukula
mwe.
Uongo.
That one.
I keep saying Swahili is a foreign language because what?
Ililetwa na maji. Okay, English ililetwa na meli, but anyway.
Let's move on.
So on one fateful day, what happened was this guy came and asked for 2 million. And this was in the early 2000s, so as you can imagine.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And this is my man. I've been doing this before. We've transacted before. Sure, sends the 2 million to the person and then waits for jioni. Now, in the evening when they're balancing the books, it's not balancing. This girl is like, oh yeah, this guy is supposed to have, I'm expecting some 2 million. Expecting it from where? They're like, yeah, this guy, I can't even call him. I know him very well. Calls mteja. I know where he lives. They go there. They're told this guy moved out 2 days ago.
What?
You know that lady went to prison?
What?
Yeah.
Prison.
Alienda ndani. And that is just how her life
Oh
literally
no.
changed.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
just for simply being familiar and trusting and not having boundaries around. And this kwanza
Yeah,
kwa
because
bank
I was like, the institution doesn't have, actually has rules about that. You're not supposed to.
yeah, you're not supposed to. It was illegal. But now because
Yeah.
you did it once, now kapenya, you did it the second time, now kapenya the third. She literally went to prison.
Wait.
And you can imagine a young lady, a beautiful
Oh
lady, had a good job
no.
at a good institution
Yeah. Promising future because of trusting
because of
somebody.
trusting someone with money like that.
Ooh,
It
I
cost
am
her her
so
life.
sorry to
Yeah.
her. So unfortunate.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, did you have another red flag?
This is not a red flag really, but just a point for conversation. Have you met friends who or yeah, friends, think about this from any type of relationship, but people are trying to compete with you. I don't know, your siblings, could be your cousin, could be your partner, your
Trying to
friend.
compete.
Yes. So like they know you make X amount of money, you make 100K, and it does not something about that does not sit right with them. And now they wanna make 200 just so that they can be better than you or feel like they're better than you.
Yeah, I think I'm very oblivious, honestly.
Oh, you'd be
I
like,
live in a bubble, and I think the best of the people who are around me, and so you see, those are inner thoughts. It would take a lot for you to actually show me that you are competing with me. And if I notice that, then for me, it's an immediate, I'll back away.
yeah.
I have not noticed. So if somebody's in competition with me, go you. I don't know. All the best.
Yeah. I think
But I haven't noticed it.
yeah.
Honestly, I've not noticed it from the people around me.
Yeah.
And I would find it very, very weird if somebody did that.
This happens a lot, especially in corporate settings. I think actually I wanted to tell you, you barely have any corporate experience.
Barely. Yeah.
And I can tell you even from the perspective of not even, there's perception and then there's things qua ground. I can even tell you from my own perspective as an in the personal branding industry. When you start building your personal brand, not even my personal brand, my clients' personal brands, and they happen to be in corporate, now suddenly they go to work and everyone is seeing them building their brand online, talking about how they are good at what they do and what they do at work, what they do outside of work. It suddenly starts becoming a problem. I remember there's a friend of mine who once told me, she was in corporate at the time. Guys were like, oh yeah, ndo huyo amechukua leave anaenda kufanya vitu zake. Paka now it started, you are entitled in this case to your leave days.
Yes.
But somehow it becomes a problem if you take that leave to go and do something that
Builds you.
builds you or your business or your brand. Now suddenly you walk into the office and everyone is looking at you like, how dare you? Can you think you're better than the rest of us? First of all,
Yes.
Yes.
You. Yes. They are better than you because they are doing something that is outside of the norm and trying to
Exactly.
better themselves that you are not doing and are jealous
Exactly.
of. They are better than you.
And just to talk about and just to bring this across, you see, I don't, simply because I think highly of myself and I want the best for myself and I actively work towards bettering myself every day, does not mean that I think you're less than.
It means that they think they're less.
Hey, it has
is
nothing
you
to do
who
with
think they're
you.
less than.
It has nothing. I'm literally minding my business and trying to make my life better. That has nothing to do with you.
I agree.
But that principle, especially when it comes to even saying partnering and collaborating, say we both are in the same industry. And guys are like, but you're both, and I've done this actually with my friend Stephanie before.
Yeah.
And guys would be like, but you're both personal branding experts. Why are you two collaborating? And I'm like, you see, guys, it's not like we have a cake. And then now, if I take one piece, only 6 are left.
Yeah.
That's now
There's
that's
nothing
how
left.
people think.
Yeah.
There's now you think if I take one, and then now if I can take a second one, now there's only 5 pieces left.
Yep.
Like there's room for everyone. So even me,
true.
I find it very difficult
strange.
to
You
compete.
see, the thing about personal development, personal, like even bettering your finances, personal. So what you gain from it may not be the same. We could actually attend the same event, and what you gain from it is not the same as what I gain from it. Which is why even when we go for these networking things, I'm like, you come. You could meet the same people, but derive different values from it. Or even if it's the same, and that, so what? Let us grow together. It's only lonely at the top because people refuse to grow with each other.
Hey.
Because you went there by yourself.
Drops mic. Plus, I think I agree, and it sounds cliche.
Yeah.
Walk by yourself, you'll walk fast. Walk with others, you'll walk
walk
far.
far.
But
Yeah.
I have seen it myself. There are things that if I had insisted on doing them by myself, I would not have gone far. And there are things that I've tried to do by myself. And that's actually, it's a tried and tested theory for me. One thing about me, I'm big on partnerships and collaborations. If I see you and I'm like, kai, you have that. This thing that I don't have, ni wewe uko nayo. Wewe ndo uko na key. You're not taking me to Canaan. Trust me, I will come and say, okay. So Mimi, I think this is how you can. This is what you bring to the table, but this is also what I bring to the table. And if we come together, then we can.
I think that's what I've come to appreciate about you and how you approach it. Even when you see value in someone, you also approach it in that this is what I can do for you, and this is how you can also benefit, as opposed to it seeming very extractive.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I
want
just
to
want to take. I just want to take.
You also
yeah.
try and add on the other side,
Yeah.
in whatever way, shape, or form that you can in that moment, which makes it easy to collaborate. Honestly,
It makes it easy to have genuine relationships with people. That's the
Yes.
secret. You don't go and just take from people. Like,
like,
of course, people can see
I
it
know
from
you
miles
work from
away.
here, and I want you to connect me with this person, and that is
Why are you entitled? I'm not your mom. I'm not your father.
oh my gosh.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Missy
so-
Wenu, like, I
Let me see
truly
Wenu,
don't know you like that.
Literally. But if
Yeah.
I come and tell you, okay, I know you can introduce me to this person,
Yeah.
but in return, I'll introduce you to this one.
And on the other side, I think if you don't have that, you see, you can say, I will introduce you to this person. Not everybody has that. When you don't have that, I think the key is to be vulnerable. Like, I may not be able to do much for you, but really and truly, this is who I am, this is what I have.
Yes.
And I would be open to learning and even hearing. So taking that approach as opposed to when you unaweza nipea a job and you're the one I can get from, that vulnerability is appreciated. Because if someone approached me with, I really don't have much to offer other than my time, then we figure it out from there. See?
So at the end of the day, just be genuine with them and be
Yeah.
genuine with your intentions.
Yeah, and yourself. Because I'm even imagining like that corporate situation, if I were in corporate and I saw somebody now elevate themselves in that way, my perception of it, well, I think even the feeling of jealousy and envy is normal, but it's for you to call yourself to a meeting and be like, why am I feeling like this? Am I feeling challenged?
Yes.
Am I feeling like I need to do better?
Yeah.
And if I feel like I need to do better, maybe I need to actually get closer to this person and learn from them, as opposed to, and they think they're better than everybody.
Whomst are you? Yeah. And like you said, it's only, even for me, even when I see you shooting your content and stuff, I'm just like, hey, Daisy, I knew what are you doing with your life? Are you seeing how Ngina's videos are eating? Now, it's only natural. So I'm not jealous. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, maybe maybe I'm like, okay, because I want what you have, for sure. In that context, I'm like, I wish my brand and my content and my socials looked as good as they do. But now, instead of now feeling resentment towards you, which, and feeling resentment takes a lot of energy, honestly. Instead of feeling resentment, just go and say, by the way.
Yeah.
So what's the secret? One thing about me, I will ask you.
Yes.
Yeah. How do I get to do? How do I deliver like you? I want my video to look as pristine. What? And I think I've actually asked you that question.
Yeah, and I told you, and
times.
I give you answers all the time.
But the answer always remains. I'm creative, and there's a way I like my things done.
Yeah.
And I'm very specific. And now, like before we started shooting again, I was telling you, I've noticed that about you, and I think that's what sets you. But because now the work that you deliver is constantly,
Thank you.
For me, again, if it moves the needle,
even
I'm content. I'm content with 70%.
Yeah.
Because now I'm able to, yes, I'm content with 70%. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, let's keep it. Let's move. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. We'll improve. We'll improve it.
I hear you, but the thing is, okay, well, 70% is good. If I can see that 72% is attainable.
It's attainable.
It's attainable. All you need to do is move this from this. we'll do that. We'll get from 70 to 72.
Yeah, that explains
And
it, yeah.
if it's just a bit inconvenient and uncomfortable to get to 72, but it is possible, we will experience the inconvenience and discomfort of having that back and forth a little bit, if it's something editorial or of taking the shots 15 times. If it is achievable and I can see, and it's something you feel like a conviction, like I can feel that this is achievable to this extent, we will get there.
Yeah.
And maybe that means the content and even the work is not a lot in terms of quantity, but the quality.
It's quality.
Yeah, but I think it's also understanding yourself and understanding what you want, because some people just want quantity. You just want to put out 3 videos a day. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Actually, it's interesting. The thing that I noticed with, again, based on the work that I do, and I am fortunate to work with clients across different like generations and stuff. What I noticed is people our age, for us, quantity matters more. And you'll notice now my clients, like, who are in their 40s, 50s, and they will tell you, Daisy, maybe even if it's just one piece of content, one a month, as long as it's quality, I am content with that one.
Yes.
And then our people were just more like, and even me, I think I resonate on this other front. It usually takes me so much. I'm like, okay, we can do 3 that will still be quality. And they're like, I know, but no, you say that effort yenye unaweka kwa hizo 3 nieke kwa hii moja pekee. So it takes some getting used to for me
I
to
get you. Like, there's a balance somewhere, of course, because you need consistency and momentum.
Yes.
But I think also the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
Everything.
Well, my
You're
content
right.
might not be overly specific on all the core areas that we talk about. It might just be a video explaining something, but you know that if this is a standard of work I put out with a 30-second video, imagine if you're doing something about your entire investment portfolio of millions of Kenyan shillings. The amount of detail and level of research that goes into it is a lot. So
yeah, I see.
Yeah.
But back to our
back
conversation.
back to the red flags.
Yes.
Okay, so this victim mentality, which is something I have seen with many Kenyans. I hate to call us out, by the way, but as a people, we need to stop being victims of our circumstances, victims of our government, victims of our relationships, victims of how we appear, how we look, victims of how God created you, victims of your faith. Stop it.
Yeah.
It is enough. Like, okay, sorry. Now we move on. Yeah.
Okay, so that has happened. So
Yeah.
now what do we do?
It is okay. It was not your fault, but now it is your responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I love to think about this, by the way. It takes 2, like, you see how they say it takes 2 to ruin a relationship, or it takes 2 to also thrive in your relationship or whatever. I think it's the same for every single thing that we put effort in, and for every circumstance that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
In as much as it was not your fault, there's always something that you could have done differently, or there's always something that now, moving forward, you change, it's always, we give very little credit towards what is within our control.
That is true.
There's so much that is within our control than we give credit for. And I think, again, that's the reason why a lot of us are just like, no, but it's not working. Okay, it's not working. So
it's not working, but are you working?
Okay,
okay.
But I look back, for example, for me, I feel like there's a time I fell into that victim mentality. And let me just give context. So there's a time I did my internship. And then at that internship, I was expecting to get this there's something I was really eyeing. And a nice role that I was really, really eyeing. What I forgot was that at that point, that role was not something that was within my control.
Okay.
It was everyone else's but me. There was nothing much that I could do. So all I would do was just ask, okay, so imefika pi story? And I realized it actually never led anywhere. And then I got depressed to a certain point. And then one day I was like, okay, I am tired of not having things within my control. Actually, maybe you'd argue it's not, it can be a red flag. But me, it bothers me when things are not within my control. And I was like, you see, now you've let go of your life. Now you see, this is exactly why you should never drop the ball. This is exactly why you like to have things
Oh my
in your
gosh.
within your own
That is
control.
actually very harsh.
And
Yeah.
I was harsh, but it changed everything. I'm sat here because I made that decision, that conscious choice to now take things back with and have them within my control. Okay, fine. So they're saying all of that. Okay, as we wait, if it will ever pan out, it never really did. What are we going to do now?
Yeah.
What's that one step? Just one step that will get you closer to where exactly you want to be. And then you take that one, and then the second, and then the third. And actually snapped out of my
That is
depressive period.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, I've also experienced situations where I have allowed victim mentality to get me down and for periods of time. So it's either in the not leaving a workspace that was not working out for me, because it's like I'm blaming the other person, but I'm not leaving even. Like it's like a toxic relationship, but it's a work relationship. Like I'm blaming them for the situation and the financial situation not being good, but at the same time I'm not taking any step to get out of it and to get into a better one. And I keep just being angry and keep being in cycles and circles of being angry at myself, at them, at the work situation, at my financial situation, but nothing is actually moving, and I'm just complaining and complaining to my friends, until one time one of my friends was like, so what are you doing
So
there?
what are you doing about it?
Yeah, so what are you doing there? What are you doing about it? And I just was like,
Well, yeah.
it's also important to keep people around you who can call you out and who can put up a mirror in front of you and be like, this is how you're acting. You are being a victim right now, and you've been a victim for the past 3 months, and maybe 1 week we can allow. We are not allowing 3 months.
Actually, now that you've said it, even now as I was telling and recounting the story, I could remember my friend's voice in my head. She was literally like, okay, so we're waiting for that one job, and if it doesn't work out, are you applying for others? I was not. So what are we doing about it? I'm like, I don't know, I'm just feeling sad. And then the next week, okay, so what are you doing about it? Then eventually, even them, they get tired and they're like, anyway,
Yeah, which is why it's a red flag for me if someone is perpetually in that state of victimness and victimhood.
Yes.
Because, okay, for a season, because sometimes we all go through those seasons of something has happened in your life and you're down about it. For that season, okay, you give it maybe a couple of months tops, and even that one we have pushed it. But you give some grace. But if this now becomes your entire personality is complaining about what you don't have. I actually cannot be around you because you are bringing me down.
Yeah.
And I'm a very hopeful and optimistic person. And if even my hope and optimism is being brought down, because every time I say something that is hopeful, you keep saying something back that is not.
Yes.
I'm not going to argue with you. If you think things are never going to work out, amen, that's between you and your God. I don't know. I don't believe that is true. But if that is the only way you speak and only way you interact with each other, I can't.
So essentially, you can't be
draining.
friends with people who are have like a negative mindset and negative mentality.
Not very close. We could be cordial, but we probably would not be very close. Yeah.
Okay.
Because life is going to have downs.
Yeah.
And some of those downs will be even downs for long periods of time.
Yeah.
But as soon as that hope goes, then you lose the willpower to even do anything about it. And I'm not trying to be drained in the extent of I'm trying to pull you up so much, but you're not trying to pull yourself up.
Okay.
So then now we are all down.
Yeah.
Who are we helping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And now, in the spirit of March being Women's Month, what do you think women lack with regard to or period?
I kid.
Let me rephrase. Yes, we lack nothing. Everything that you want is within you.
Yes.
And you can achieve anything that you
Exactly.
want and that you set your mind to.
Exactly.
Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Anyway. Back
I feel
to
like
the
we're
conversation.
talking like, these finance bros.
Yeah.
Just quotes over there, like
Just do it. You wake up every day,
5 a.m.
5 a.m. Do that workout. No excuse. Okay, no, not really. But what I meant was, what do you think we could do better to get ourselves to the next level as women. And just as a precedent to this, I want to ask, or rather, this is something I have observed. Naturally, I am around like social networking events a lot.
Yeah.
And I have noticed women and networking events go like this. Like you'll find 70% of the room is women, the
Yeah.
other 30% men. I feel like it feels like women are constantly trying to improve and develop themselves and be better. We love to see it. You know, now there are conversations that,
Yeah.
women are empowered.
And
I'm
they're
careful
not.
not to use the word over empowered. I don't believe there's such a thing. So for the record,
I-
women are empowered, but we sort of forgot about the men along the way. But in as much as that is the case, you still find that men are making more money than women are.
Yeah.
Yet we are the ones who are constantly learning
Yeah.
and trying to better ourselves. And I'm like, there's a gap.
There is.
What is
It
wrong?
true.
What are we not doing right?
It's true.
Yeah.
And this is we, including me and you. You see, as you said, in these spaces, I'm also in these
Yes.
networking events quite a bit.
Yes.
Women will be 70%, the men will be 30%. But you'll find that the deals made by men are 70%. So men will make 70% of the deals. Those 30% of men will make 70% of the deals.
Yes.
Why? I think it's because of how we are nurtured and the society we have grown up in. Earlier today, we were at another event, and the panelist, or rather the person who was speaking, said that we just need to be unapologetic about it. Like, I want this from you. We rarely go like that. First of all, we take a lot of time, and that time factor, I think, is against us. We take a lot of time trying to like butter somebody up, or trying to not look like you're being money hungry, or trying to be like, oh, do they see my value, or do they not? Second guessing yourself. By the time you second guessed yourself, there's already somebody who's much less qualified than you, who's most likely not your gender, who's already gone and said, and they said, this is what I want, this is what I can give you, deal or not, and they have got it.
And it's I agree, and it goes back to, I have noticed, maybe for the services that I pitch and that I do, like the services that I offer, my rate card for said services, there's a day I looked at my rate card and then I looked at my friends, guys, and I'm like, and we are doing the same thing. And I remember even when I was pitching, I was like, I'm asking too much. Actually, it's likely that I will set the rate, say, at like 200K, and then I'm like, hey, wacha tu nianze na 150 kwanza.
Yeah.
And now me, the way I say, if it's 200 that I had in mind, this guy is like, if it's 200 that the bare minimum, them now they'll be like, acha nianze na 300. Me, I'm like, acha nianze na 150 kwanza. And of course, ukishaanza na 150 kwanza, it's going down to 100.
They will negotiate you down.
Always. No one negotiates up.
Yeah.
Ever. No. There are women that I've met and they're like, where Daisy, where? Watch your jokes. You're charging way too.
That is a situation where I see your value, but you don't see it.
don't
And
see
I
it.
have the heart to actually tell you, add another zero.
Which is very rare.
It's rare. It doesn't happen often.
Yes.
And that is not a space where it's even a backdoor conversation of like, hey, you know, you could be paid more for this. Charge more. It's not a common occurrence in corporate or even in our service industries.
But to give credit, and even with the theme Give to Gain, which is the theme for Women's Month, there's call, Women's Month 2026, there's call for us women to look out for each other from that perspective.
Yeah.
And every time you see someone and they're acting like this, and it's because they don't value themselves, and it's because I can see myself in them. We now do that. We're like, hapana, hii 200 we kwanza watu wanaitisha 500 wewe unaitisha 200 we style up. What is it about you that makes you feel that you can't ask for said 500K?
First of all, I love that you actually helped me increase my rate last year.
Oh
Yeah. I love that. Thank you.
Yes.
And that's actually what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Talking each other up. Because even me as somebody in the finance space, sometimes I don't charge appropriately because until at the end of the day, an individual who has had circumstances and who is living in a society, and I'm still a woman. So all those factors are still there, no matter how skilled I could be.
Yeah.
So I may not always charge appropriately, and having these conversations and actually talking about it.
Yes, openly.
Yes, openly.
Actually, having money conversations openly.
Yeah.
Again, I'll go back to, there's a time a friend of mine, she finished her internship years back, and wait, I think she was moving to a different role or something. And I remember she went and asked people how much they're earning. All the men, from the interns all the way up that corporate ladder, all of them were open and transparent about how much they're earning. And all the women were hesitant in that scenario. They were all hesitant to say how much money they're making. And that's why she was like, hapa kuna mahali tuna band as women, and it's because you're not, because you see, if I ask you how much you're earning, now I walk into the room knowing at least this is the baseline.
This level, they earn this much, this level, they earn this much for this amount of work.
Exactly. So if we don't disclose that, even now, that's why I end up doing 50K work.
You would have been paid 200.
That I would have been paid for 200 for. Imagine. So anyway, I guess that's just a call to have more open and honest conversations, especially around money and especially for women, because
yeah, and on the thing
we are learning too much.
Closing deals, I think we need to move faster. We don't move as fast as the men. I think we need to move faster. I think we need to be clear on what we are asking for and ask as soon as possible and be very bold about it and unapologetic. You will be called names, not gonna lie. You will be. You'll be called aggressive. You'll be asked why, a young girl. First of all, I don't know why people comment about my size. And if one more person calls me a small girl when I enter a financial institution.
Nikikupata wewe. Okay.
They will be there, but you need to move past it. And I need to move past it. But
plus, what's so wrong about being called aggressive anyway? Where's that?
There's an undertone. There's always an undertone. But
actually, it's just reminded me. I was listening to the podcast, It's Related, I promise.
Yeah.
And they had that conversation where every time actually men use the term aggressive with women, it is not.
It is not a compliment.
It is not a compliment. And the question is why? Because we're supposed to be like agreeable and
feminine.
Why can't feminine and aggressive appear in the same statement? Is
I don't know.
Yeah,
I also don't know.
Like, what's that about? Are we not supposed to have ambition?
Also, who do I owe femininity? You are not my husband. It is work. We are talking about creating a diversified portfolio. Do I owe you? So we need to create a portfolio with balancing the stocks and the global international environment.
It reminds me, actually, just as we're about to wind up this conversation, I saw this on TikTok, and this lady was saying, naturally they used to think of marketing as like a women's thing. Now they're trying to make marketing logical because of how the tech is advancing and stuff. So this is just something that I saw, and the point was this: it is a red flag. This is a red flag. Refusing to contribute, but demanding equal decision power. And this is specifically in the context of romantic relationships. So you're not contributing, and we're talking about money. So refusing to contribute financially, but demanding equal decision power. What do you think?
I think they're making it about just money is already wrong, because there's so many ways people contribute that are not even financial. In general, commenting about other people's relationships, to me, none of my business. If it works for you, that's great. Whatever floats your boat. My personal situation is, I think when it comes to decision making, it is a partnership. It is not, how do I say this? As a woman, my contribution will never be equal to the other person's because I can give birth. I will be the primary parent for the most case, unless something happens to the other partner. But for the most case, you as a woman will be the person who's growing the child within your body and then bringing the child into the world, which takes a lot from you in terms of time, in terms of medically speaking, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, it is difficult to quantify that contribution. So saying that someone, because they are not contributing as much financially, cannot have the same amount of decision-making power, and they have gone through this, to me is crazy. It is crazy. We will never be the same. Even you might find a situation where the lady is even earning more.
Yeah.
And even in that case, you will never be the same. And even that situation, I don't think demands that the person who's being provided for now has less decision-making capacity.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have chosen to be in a partnership. No one has forced you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, everything you said, I'm behind for sure. And just to close off
yeah.
this conversation, what's one thing that you would say, especially that you notice, especially as a financial expert, that is bringing a lot of, like, that is making us not get to the next level? Over here at Growing Out Loud, it's all about, yeah, getting to the next
Us,
level.
not us as people or us as women?
No. As people,
Generally.
yeah, men and
Okay.
women.
Okay,
We are
okay.
inclusive over here.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Not get to the next level. Okay. Lack of accountability. Oh, you said you would open an account. Kwanza, I have a question for you. You attended the
Where?
event.
Able to nini?
Tumaliza.
You see, guys, what I meant.
Yeah, you attended our last event. You said, I will do. Out of those list of 3-4 things you said you will do, which one have you done?
I have actually looked into the special funds.
Okay, looked into. Okay, yeah,
Looked
totally know
into.
you've looked into, because I know.
I have
we
looked
have,
into
we have
it.
been there
And
together.
yes, and actively now, I'm now conscious. The idea is to put that money first because they have minimum investments. So now I'm putting that money aside being my circle, which is still putting money aside. No, up until I get.
We'll talk about that move. Yeah, so
Tutaongea.
basically accountability. People don't have you know what to do sometimes you don't know what to do, and you can educate yourself easily with AI, but even when you know what to do, people don't do it because they lack accountability.
Yeah.
They lack someone checking in on them. They lack that community that is openly talking about these things and these investments. Yes, and I think that is also the problem we're solving at Money Moves.
Oh, okay. So where can people get to know more about, find out more about Ngina and find out more about Money Moves?
Yeah, you can follow me on at I am Ngina on Instagram and TikTok. And you can follow our business, Money Moves KE, on Instagram, TikTok. We have a podcast called Money Moves Diary that we need to revive. And you can find us basically anywhere. If you Google us, you will find Money Moves KE. We talk a lot about money, give tips. We have an event coming up, by the way, in April. So look out for that on our social media platforms. It will be very fun, like activities. We're still talking about money and investments. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. This was
Yes.
so fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
I hope I'm gonna be here again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We can look into having you as a seasonal co-host, And thank you to for staying up until the end of this episode. Please let us know what is a red flag with regards to money and friendships over in the comment section. Kimekuramba wapi? What kind of boundaries have you set up for yourself? What are you working towards currently with regard to just money and the relationships that you have? And I would want to see you on the next episode of Growing Out Loud. My name is Daisy Kater.